All right, guys, this is the official Tuesday morning editorial, and I'm going to give you right here. And before I get to it, though, you guys asked, and I'm delivering. It's reference to Portland shooting. It seems like CNN are about the only ones talking about this. I did click on a Washington Post story. I read 2 sentences, and they wanted me to subscribe to Washington Post to read the rest of the story. I'm like, I am not subscribing to the Washington Post. New York posted the same thing. So I was like, man, I'm going to give you CNN's story because they don't make you subscribe. Thank you, CNN, for this story. Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden is forcefully condemning the violent protest that took one life in Portland, Oregon on Saturday evening, calling on President Donald Trump to do the same. Joe Biden said in a statement on Sunday, "The deadly violence we saw overnight in Portland is unacceptable. I condemn this violence unequivocally. I condemn violence of every kind by anyone, whether on the left or on the right, and I challenge Donald Trump to do the same." Biden is expected to travel to southwestern Pennsylvania, that was yesterday, Monday, to deliver remarks intended to contrast his vision of leadership with Trump's, where, according to a statement from his campaign, he'll ask voters to consider whether they are safe in Donald Trump's America. And it says here, for more than 90 consecutive nights, protesters in Portland have denounced police brutality and racial injustice. The protests were spurred by the killing of George Floyd in May and gained steam after last week's police shooting of Jacob Blake in Wisconsin. Trump tweeted in encouragement of the caravan of his supporters Sunday morning, calling them great patriots, but has yet to condemn the violence in the city outright, besides a litany of tweets and retweets disparaging the city's Democratic mayor, Ted Wheeler. Joe Biden warned in his lengthy statement, arguing that the country is less safe because Trump is president. He said, "We must not become a country at war with ourselves." He goes on to say, Donald Trump has been president for almost 4 years. The temperature in the country is higher, tensions run stronger, divisions run deeper, and all of us are less safe because Donald Trump can't do the job of the American president. Democratic Oregon Governor Kate Brown similarly blamed Trump, saying, quote, "For the last several years and escalating in recent months, President Trump has encouraged division and stoked violence. It happened in Charlottesville, it happened in Kenosha, and now, unfortunately, it is happening in Portland, Oregon." Trump and his campaign have attempted to seize on a message of law and order, arguing the violence is what can be expected in Joe Biden's America. Vice President Mike Pence said during the Republican National Convention last week, "You won't be safe in Joe Biden's America." Gee, I wonder where he got that from. Or did Trump get it from him? So I'm going to put 2 links in the description box below. The second link is the one I'm going to give you right now. It's still the Portland shooting. It's CNN. Like I said, it seems like they're the only ones who give you stories that you can actually read. So the first one I gave you is the first link, and then I'm going to continue on now with the second link below in this CNN story about the Portland shooting. It's really long, so you can go read it, but I'm going to give you the meat of it and kind of what happened and see maybe if we can untangle this thing for you. Now, CNN says protests were taking place, as they have, for more than 90 consecutive nights against racial injustice and police brutality, starting with the killing of George Floyd, and then, of course, fueled again by the shooting of Jacob Blake. They're saying a Trump 2020 cruise rally in Portland started earlier in nearby Clackamas, Oregon, where a large group of Trump supporters in cars gathered, CNN affiliate KOIN reported. Video footage from KOIN showed pickups with American flags, thin blue line flags, and Trump 2020 flags prominently displayed on the vehicles. Something in resemblance to Ukaipa. After the rally, a line of cars, motorcycles, and trucks made its way along the Trump 2020 cruise rally route, which appeared to include the downtown Portland area, according to an image on Facebook advertisement of the event. Portland police were aware of the rally and tried to keep the caravan out of the downtown area, Lavelle said at a news conference Sunday. Now, The Portland police identified the man as the victim as Aaron J. Danielson of Portland. They say the 39-year-old man was shot in the chest as supporters of President Donald Trump clashed with protesters against police violence and racism. Police said they have no suspect so far. Now, the police tweeted Saturday that there had been some instances of violence between demonstrators and counter-demonstrators. And people ask, what do you mean counter-protesters or counter-demonstrators? I've had people ask me that. When someone protests, let's say against Trump, a counter-protester or a counter-demonstrator would be somebody coming out to clash with them to protest on the opposite side. Like you have Trump supporters protesting. Counter-protesters would be like Joe Biden protesters that come out, not just to protest, but to counter the Trump protesting. Does that make sense? Yeah. You have people maybe protesting for white supremacy, and maybe BLM would come out, they're counter-protesters. That's where that comes from. Videos posted by a New York Times reporter showed fights breaking out between Trump supporters and protesters. A man riding in the bed of a passing black pickup truck displaying a blue Oregon for Trump flag and an American flag can be seen pointing and firing a paintball gun at protesters standing on the corner. Now, one witness, Justin Dunlap, who witnessed the shooting and captured some of it on his Facebook live stream, said he didn't hear much leading up to it. He said, I heard like 3 seconds of yelling and saw a guy spray bear mace. The victim sprayed mace and launched it right into the other guy. CNN has not confirmed whether Danielson is the person who sprayed the mace. But Dunlap said, I've watched the video 100 times in slow-mo and on my TV, and I still don't know where the shots actually came from. But again, Danielson was shot in the chest, and it was fatal. Dunlap said he has been documenting the unrest in Portland since shortly after the George Floyd protests, and he said, I was in the wrong place at the right time. I'm just a citizen journalist. I just want people to know that is what is going on out here. And before the shooting, Dunlap said he saw people who were part of the Trump supporter parade launch mace from the back of their vehicles toward protesters walking down the street. Now, where the investigation stands, and this is where I'll close it, Portland police officials said they are aware of videos circulating on social media that show the shooting. They asked people who recorded footage or who saw something to contact detectives. Chief Lavelle asked for the public's patience. You're not going to get patience right now in America. Chief Lavelle said in a statement Monday, it is still early in this investigation, and I ask everyone to give the detectives time to do their important work before drawing conclusions about what took place. So, and when they say drawing conclusions, I mean, how many videos are out there of the shooting? I'll try to look and see. I don't know. I was going to say I'll try to look and see if there are any videos, but this is long enough. Just go to YouTube and look to see if there are any videos that you can watch on the shootings. I'm almost really afraid to post any video clips here because people might say, oh, I see you posted that clip. That's your narrative. No, that's the video clip I found on YouTube. So I'll let you guys go find your own video clips and draw your own narrative from it. But there's the shooting. Doesn't seem like Donald Trump is condemning the shooting so much, but he called the Trump people patriots. And then, of course, and I'm not knocking Donald Trump. And then, of course, Biden is condemning Trump and saying, why isn't he condemning the violence and the shooting and what happened? And is this Trump's America or Biden's America? What's going to happen? Which America would we be safer in? I don't know. You guys decide and let me know in the comment section below. Woo! If you're not confused yet, then you've been listening. Thank you for watching Community Leo Watch, watching Leos. That's law enforcement officers from coast to coast on this Tuesday. And again, I tried to make this as clear as mud. No, I tried to make this clear, but there's just so much they're reporting on this. CNN wants to write a Stephen King novel about the goddamn thing, and I can't really find any other short stories on it that give you the right information unless you want to subscribe to the Washington Post, which I don't. Thank you guys for watching on this Tuesday.